The main cable broke on this thing, so I'm gonna just cut it a little bit shorter and reattach the hook. So the piece that broke off, I'm just gonna abandon, and then I'm just gonna put this hook back on there. And I think the whole reason that this cable broke, and you see it's frayed and damaged, and the reason it broke was because this is garbage. Everything's bent. It's all bent here. It's bent up here. These rollers, the sheaves, the bearings are gone in them, and they're worn right through right there. So even the side rollers are trash. That's the only good one. So I need these parts made out of solid steel, and then this part that holds everything together, I'll have to make another one of those out of much thicker steel because it's not strong enough. I don't know why that's so weak. I mean, I do have another one, but if I put that on there, it won't last long, so I don't really want to ruin it. It looks really strong, but it's a piece of crap. It's weak. It just doesn't work. So I might get our neighbors to machine these rollers out of round stock. I have some leftover round stock here from the other property, and so I could take that to them and get them to machine these rollers out of solid steel. This is a tube, a thin tube in there, and then this thing, I'll make that new, I think, out of these chokers. For being homemade, they're not too bad, but once it starts happening a little too often, then I get kind of annoyed. So I think I'm going to put some new chokers on. I'm not going to bother fixing this right now. Let's save that for something else. And the place I got my pickup trucks and all those cars, I got some nice chokers there. Actually, they're the perfect chokers for a tractor. They're not too long, they're not too stiff. You see, everything's all factory here, and that's just nice and strong, and they're in good they're nice and flexible too. I like how flexible they are. These are nice chokers. And they're not all damaged. So I'm gonna put some of these on. I don't know what these are, probably off of little bulldozer, a D4 bulldozer or something. Those are nice chokers, so I'll put some of these on. And I'm still thinking about making another PTO winch with a gearbox here. So I do have a gear that goes on there. And then this thing, what is this? I think that's a one-way clutch. Actually, it's not really, well, it's a clutch technically, but so I want to find a way to put a shaft on there. So if I take that off, I can get a shaft. Because it's kind of too long here. I want it to be a bit shorter. And then have a small PTO shaft like that long from here or something little. And then this spool, I weld it up, would go over top of it. And then, I have to build a big steel frame for everything, and then I'd have like a sprocket running the spool, or even I could almost have a sprocket, well, maybe not on both sides, but on the one side there, and then I have a whole frame, and then that would work. And then I'll have like a little backup gear, a little click gear, like a ratchet almost, so that when you're winching in, which direction does it? I don't remember which direction it goes, but the little ratchet will click and then it won't back up. So I'll have something like that. It would be a fun project to take on, but it's just a project that's waiting to happen. I don't know if I'll do it yet. And I got a bunch of chain bars from the place I got the chokers too. I got lots of stuff from that place, actually. And some of these might still be good. I think they are good, but the ends are just worn out on them. They look old, but some of them are not too bad. I got lots of spare chain bars. And this is on here because the original tire went flat, so it's at the shop right now. So this is a spare. This is a good spare. I put the chain, I was getting some big lumber logs, sawmill logs, down this hill, and that's when the cable broke. I tried to lift the log up just a little bit. It's at the bottom of the hill, and so I used the chain. I still got the job done, but it's not really the way to do it. I still got to fix this thing. This is odd. Since when do you see a big chain like this that's all beat up? Why is that all beat up? This, my uncle said this chain's been in our tree farmer skidder for years. This is the chain he would always have in the toolbox. Good, that's garbage. I'll probably get rid of that. So I got a plan. So I think what I'm gonna do is, where's this stuff? It should be steel, not cast iron. That has to be steel. There's no way that'd be cast iron. So this thing is all stripped and mangled. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna weld this on there, and that'll add as kind of a spacer, because this clamps on the two cables. So there's gonna be two cables in there, so I'm gonna have to cut one off. And I want it to stick out a little so that this clamp can clamp as much of it as possible. And then this is going to be a spacer, so then there can be, a little bit of cable sticking out. This will be a spacer on there. And then I'll chop these off. And then this is going to be the backstop for the chokers. So these pieces will be welded together on the cable. So they'll be clamping the cable. And then this thing can move freely, and this thing will be the backstop for the chokers. So I can just, it'll just backstop here, and then around this, the big choker can sit on this plate, all this in between here. So I think, let's try that, see if that works. Here's the finished product. That loop is welded on there. I could weld more stuff on there, but I think that's good. Chokers aren't quite as, they're not in a nice shape as mine. They're a bit bent and crippled, but they're stronger. Mine keep falling apart sometimes. So just realized I forgot to put that stupid back plate in. So now I have to take that apart again and put it in. That's no big deal. so that is fixed now. Might not be as nice as it was. Like these cables here, when I made them, they're nice and straight. They're not all beat up. See, what happens with these is, the hook screwed up first, and then I made these hooks, and these hooks are great. But then, that's still sticking up, and those are big clamps, but they have to be strong enough. And there's 2 clamps there, and these ones seem to go first, and that's what happened to one of these. So, see, those clamps slip out sometimes. But, I mean, that's fixable, but I just don't feel like fixing it because I have better chokers there. And there is a thing called a skit that I made out of this old gravel blade. I just posted a video a few days ago about that. And I think I'm going to have a few extra chokers, and I'm going to put the chain back on that thing. Because that's what I originally made these for. I originally made these for that skit. So, this is a logging winch. It's different. It's a winch. But I may try to put that skit back together again. Have a couple of chokers on there. So, stuff like that is... We got lots of this around, so that's a good place for it. Yes. I think that's fixed now. So this is the backstop. It'll go on there. We'll see how well it does. If it slips out, I'll put another clamp there. A third one. I don't think that will slip out, though. Also, one of these things fell off. I don't know why the heck I decided a pin would be a good idea in there. Like, it's got a nut. I wonder if the thread's still working that. If the threads are still good in that nut. Well, I have to drill this side out anyway. Actually, maybe not. So, I won't use those threads. But I need a bolt with a lock nut. That's how you do that. That's what I should have done. I don't know why I made these pins. These pins, these are just dumb. They don't really do the job. They fit in there nice, but see, the end's crippled. And that thing, well, apparently it didn't work because I lost the other pin. I don't know where it is. But I got this jack stand. I found that in the field. So I found this part, but the pin's gone. So I need to just put bolts in there. I should have done that from the beginning. But I'll get some firewood. So this is where I'm going to get some firewood in this bush over here. And I'm going to skid them out of here. And I'm going to put them over here. I see there's a couple old ones here that I'm going to move. The plan is to pull them out of here. There's quite a few of them here. I think that little one there is dead. But so I should have brought the bucket. I might go back for the bucket because there's stuff here that should get moved. Like little stuff like that. You don't want to be driving over that. So I might head back to the farm and get the bucket. The farm is... No, it's pretty close to the farm, this area. So that's not a problem. I may pull out a snowmobile too. Those guys are playing over there. has a little bit of trouble idling sometimes, but it works pretty good. This thing, it doesn't want to go forward anymore, and then because it would have to go up. So it won't bash into the back of the tractor if I'm pushing that. And the skis are low enough that I don't think it'll tip over. So as long as you go slow enough, that'll tow out there just fine. Oh, I think I found a better spot. There's a couple, decent length ones here. In the bush here, there's a few that are all the same direction. There's a couple of dead poplars I could get rid of. Nice and clear in here now. And that tractor is not meant for clearing another piece of plastic broke off of it. But I mean, what else are you supposed to do? Pull a bunch of junk out on the field? So you kind of have to clear to get to the wood, but now everything's clear. Look at how I got this tripod. It's nice and sturdy there, and then I can put the phone in it. And that's a good shot right there, because now I can see every tree I pull out. A pretty big pole. There's quite a few of them, and they're kind of all in a weird spot. But you see how it does. I think it'll work just fine. There's a good chance some of those might break on the way out. pretty much all the wood I got. It's like nothing. But I looked, and there's no good trees anywhere. I did a bunch of clearing in there, but I don't think it was even worth it. Because you do all that clearing, and there's only 1 or 2 trees that are hardly big enough. So this place is just terrible for firewood. There's no good stuff. 99, like all of this stuff is pretty well punk, every one of them. And they're tiny too. So the best place to go is the lake quarter. So I'm gonna get the trailer and we'll load this. And we'll take it in. I got the tractor and trailer. It sounds like a semi, a tractor and trailer. They call a semi with a trailer or load on it, a tractor trailer. And here is the same 2 words, tractor trailer, but at 2 different machines. This is only a pickup truck trailer. So yeah, I'm gonna load these logs, try to do it before it gets dark. One big tree here I missed, so we'll get that. Gotta cut all these branches off. So there's not enough charge on this phone to film anything, so there's just one big log, and then there's a couple logs out where the snowmobile was. And then after I get those, I'll load those on there, and then I'll haul it all home. So there's starting to get to be a bunch of the bigger stuff. So I'm going to stack some of that bigger stuff over there, and then we'll split it. There's no other reason to stack it. Some people stack their wood in the shed, but that's just 3 times the amount of work. Stack now. It's amazing how much wood you can get in an area if you stack it compared to if it's piled. Like all of that would be about 4 feet high to about here and out about 4 feet from where I'm standing. So if it was piled, it would be completely full. And some of those guys up there, they're not that heavy. So if Rocky climbs on it and one falls near him or on him, it probably won't even injure him. But you know, he's a dog. He's pretty fast. A lot of those are not that heavy. Some of them are, but I think he's fine up there. Kind of an odd place to go. What's the dog doing up there? It looks cute. It looks like a wolf. I was going to stack them closer to the door, but I may end up pushing that forward or backward to move the door a bit. I'm not sure yet. Sophie likes to play with her husband. Shh. Play with him. Woof. Shh. Woof. There it comes. Okay. Shh. Yeah. Couple of happy dogs. Sophie's a 10-year-old. She's still pretty good at climbing and jumping. There's a board in here. That thing was just in the way. I had to cut it. It was every other piece you throw just hit it, so it's not doing anything either. I just got rid of it. Good investment was cutting that board out of there. Now there's so much more room to throw stuff. And then what I want to do is get this. There's like this materials like canvas. I don't know what it is, but I want to put that here instead of these stupid rail doors because these are garbage. They don't work ever. So.